Welcome to GHOSTWATCH 2016. My name is Coriander Dickinson. We're watching Kamen Rider Ghost. I've seen some Sentai.
My name's Heather Deary. I was paying attention.
My name is Kate Stark. I show up.
I mean, it's true. I show up. I don't bring much else other than my physical body.
This is episode 36.
Bodacious Idle Declaration.
Wow.
We were enthusiastic about that one.
It's
Well,
bodacious.
We gotta be enthusiastic about something over this episode because we're gonna get bored real quick on the rest of it.
I mean, compared to last time.
Last time was exciting. There was fairy tale cosplay, actual literal gnomes, and also Genji became a Kamen Rider. That was in Overwatch, but it was still pertinent.
Well, I was going to say in real life, but Overwatch is not real.
That's the supplemental material, though.
I mean,
and
a
Kate's
lot.
been keeping track of it.
A lot happened last time, but the exciting thing is in the Overwatch anniversary, Genji is a Kamen Rider. What happened this time? There's 28 days left.
There's a tornado. It's
And-
blue.
And yeah,
It's like the only other defining feature is that it was blue.
And it had a man inside.
A boy!
A blue costume boy.
The boys transform. There's Deep Spectre and there's Ultimate Taco. But the boy that was inside of the tornado was like, I described him as a water bird, but you described him as a storm.
Yeah. But now maybe somewhere in the middle. Like maybe if you had put a bird in a washing machine, just on spin cycle or something.
Yeah, but with yellow balls poking through its fur. Like fur. Poking through its feathers. Like cysts.
It also looked a little bit like Sully from Monsters, Inc., but also having been through a washing machine on spin.
I believe we nicknamed this creature Stormcrow.
yeah, we went with Stormcrow.
I named it after the magic card, Stormcrow, which is a blue card.
Okay, so it's a blue card. Does it look like it's been through the washing machine?
No.
How
I
many
mean, ours does, because I think it has.
How many manas does it take to tap it?
2?
What's its damage? Is it a flying creature?
It's a flying creature. What's its damage?
Its damage is clearly that it went through a washing machine.
What's your damage?
What's your damage? Its damage is, I think it goes up to level 2. No, it goes up to threat level maximum after analyzing the combat potential of all of the Kamen Riders.
I really like your drawing of Stormcrow.
Maybe I should post that.
Yeah, you should
Okay.
tweet it. Okay, so what the heck happens here?
Well, there's a fight of some sort. Necrom uses Grim. There's pen nibs on his shoulders. He does a backflip.
He does 2 backflips.
Oh, I must
He
have
puts
missed the
jacket
second
on.
one.
Yeah, he puts the jacket on and the jacket's flying around. And he does 2 backflips and it intersects with him in midair. It was great and really fast. They used a lot of special effects in this episode for transformations and jackets and stuff.
Because that's the only thing that happened in this episode. The jacket actually looked really good on Necrom because Necrom is white and green and Grim is white and green. This is the best a jacket has looked on a boy.
So the problem is that Taco is super ultimate and Spectre is super deep. But Necrom just has Grim. And so the Gun Miser, Stormcrow, the Storm Boy, is all like, well, this guy's not very good. Let's go back down to threat level 3.
No. Threat level minimal.
Yeah.
And Necrom was not happy about that. He didn't want to be made fun of, and then he got his ass kind of kicked.
And then Spectre had to protect Necrom, and so did Ultimate Taco, and then they had to, for some reason, run away.
But Furious Spectre used his wings to block oncoming shots so that Rainbow Taco, whatever, could pick up Poncho Boy and run away with him, away from the danger.
Unicorn Taco. Let's go with Unicorn
No, they're
Taco.
always a unicorn, but Rainbow Taco sounds awesome.
But
I think there's rainbow sparkles in that taco.
Yes.
Rainbow Sprite?
angel food taco.
I'm really hungry now. So
For
let's try
some
to
angel food taco cake.
let's try to get this over with so I can go get some food.
Yeah, agreed. We get to Gnome Hell.
Anyways,
Where-
no, I'm angry because Taco can 1v1 these gun misers, and he just picked up PB and ran.
That seems fair.
They needed something to fill this friggin' episode.
There's a lot of things I think they just threw in here to fill this episode.
But we're back in Gnome Hell with like an exterior shot of Gnome Tower with the eye on it and everything's red. We haven't seen that in a while.
Just in case we forgot what the weather was like.
Yeah.
It's red.
It's not blue tornado season, I'll tell you that.
Today's weather, red.
Ash. Rains from the sky.
Hell.
Expect heavy traffic on your commute.
Expect a light wind tomorrow, but ultimately the same.
Stormcrow, the gnome miser, is all like, I lost track of the dude that I was trying to kill. Maybe I should just, like, step it up a notch and kill more people. And then Sweat Emperor is all like, no, you should just observe for now. Follow the plan.
Could you not, Sirens?
Sirens.
up that badly on
Sirens. Yeah, I like that Stormcrow was like, they ran away from me in a straight line and I couldn't follow.
I think my favorite part was them saying, I think it was Bro was just like, look, nothing needs to happen except the plan needs to be executed to utter perfection.
Yep.
Just by the
Just
way.
that thing.
Just
That's the only thing that needs to happen.
don't screw up a
Perfection.
single part of it and just achieve perfection. Thanks. Bye. Now we're in a small theater and there appears to be an idol group up on stage, a 4-person idol group singing about their dreams and they're super cute.
Their names are Harpy 4.
Harpy plus Y4.
Harp plus Y4.
That's right.
But I'm pretty sure the head one called it Harpy 4 when she...
I feel like she tried to say Happy 4, which makes more sense than Harpy. Like, who
Yeah.
calls their group Harpy? But the harp bit, it seems like it might be an acronym. Wait, what are their names?
Oh, right,
Wait, no, one
no.
of their names is U.
Harmony, which is like the one that we see a lot of this episode. One had a name starting with an A from that flashback that happens later. I don't know the other two.
I think it's their initials. They did that thing because they've been friends since forever, and they named the group
So
with their initials.
they did that NSYNC thing, and
What?
What?
There's no J in NSYNC.
which one am I thinking of?
Literally 2 of the members
No,
of
it's not
NSYNC have
NSYNC.
names that start with J.
It's not NSYNC.
Justin
There's-
Timberlake, JC Chasez. Do not at me.
Which one am I thinking of then? I'm certain there was
Backstreet Boys. It's not that one either.
In Excess.
98 Degrees.
No.
S Club 7.
O-Town. I could literally go on forever.
The Archies.
They only used one person's name for that.
B44.
4 is my favorite character from that band.
If you get down on me, I'll get down on you.
Thank you for the offer, but not into it tonight.
Those are song lyrics from one of their songs. I
And
was
we
not
don't want to hear the song
I
tonight,
was
okay?
not propositioning Heather.
Good, because I was confused, because I'm sitting between you two, and you were looking directly at me. Do not at me.
Hey, Corey.
No.
I just like that. Okay, aside from this show, because there's not much going on, the song was, and if you're under 18, cover your ears. It was about blowies. You can edit this out if you need to, but it's important information. Everyone knew that's what it was about, and the entire time they're like, that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. It's about emotions. And then like 13 years later, they held a press conference, and they're like, guess what? It was about blowies.
Wait. Did they like literally set up a press conference?
Yes.
Just walked on stage and were like, yeah, we got you, and then walked off?
Pretty much.
Oh,
and all
that's
of us
good.
are like, we knew it. And they're like, no, you didn't. We covered our track so well.
Let me just outline this for you. I don't know who you're talking about.
B44.
Or what song you're talking
Get down.
about, and I've never heard it.
What? Yes, you have.
I doubt it.
Okay, I will admit, I do have one CD still of B44. And
You
it probably has
owned
that
an
song.
album?
Yes.
I know a different song called Get Down, but it's actually called Memory or something.
Who's that by?
I can't pronounce her name.
Did you notice how I sat up straight in this chair as soon as we started talking about boy bands more?
I like how angry you got that NSYNC was not an acronym of their names.
No, it's in sync because they're in sync with each other.
It's a pun, yes. The Hansons. There we go. I found one.
That was their
Found one with
last name.
but they're all named Hanson.
Their last name was Hanson.
But they're all named Hanson.
They were brothers.
They're
Yeah,
all named
there were 3 of
Hanson.
them.
Did you know one of the Moffats works in town?
Oh,
Yeah, I
really?
did. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
I saw him at like the Gap, and I was like, "Weren't you one of the Moffats?"
Does he work at the Gap?
Yes. Yes, that's what I was saying. It's like years ago, I saw him behind the counter at the Gap, and I'm like, "Aren't you a Moffat?" And he's like, "Now I work at the Gap." And I was like, "Oh, honey, I will take a pair of your jeans." Not yours specifically, but the ones from the shelf.
That's good, because that's less creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, good times though. So about this show we're watching.
Oh, well,
So they had, it was Akari.
Blah, blah, blah. Bills is there with Akari.
Yeah, and then
They're at the Idol Group performance. There's a crowd. Everyone has fancy bracelets. Bills is like, these bracelets are awesome.
I agree, though.
I have
those
technology.
wristbands looked really cute.
they're like, it's a preliminary test for the Demia project. It heightens everybody's emotions around them. Also, the band is evolving. I think they need a new member. Akari, you want to audition? And she's like, nope, I couldn't. But she's like excited about it.
Yeah, and that awkward, like, oh, don't look at me.
Oh, no, not me. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But then we see like a translucent steampunk boy.
In the back, being all like, here.
Hey.
He's all like, who would want that girl anyway? I think he's jelly that he didn't get offered the audition
To be
slot.
in a girl band.
Can you imagine steampunk in a girl band? Girl idol group?
Yes.
It would be so good.
I mean, like, I imagine him not changing his clothes.
No, not at all. But
Maybe
it'd
putting on
still
a
be
wig.
Good.
Oh, no, he might get one of those fans or the glow sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one ribbon in his hair.
Yeah. So then the Idol Group has done their their performance.
Here today we'll be presenting
Our hit new single.
this Para Para.
So anyways, yeah, they go off stage after their performance and they're there and they're like, we were perfectly in sync. And they were all stoked on their performance and they were thrilled. And then the lead singer, Harmony, is that her name?
Harmonia?
The lead singer walks away from the group to like go backstage and then hears all of their thoughts and they're all super negative about her.
They're like, oh, she's the leader. Why did she hate us?
Well, because she also said that we need to work harder and get beyond just this moment. Like,
she's so smug.
Yeah, and she's like, this is the beginning of something great. We need to make sure that we keep working. We don't like, stop trying just because we're doing well right now, which is, I think, a totally fair like thought to have.
Yep.
Especially at like the beginning of your career, just like keep hustling. But they, had all these bad thoughts. They weren't saying them, but she could just hear them.
And so she leaves. She goes down a hallway to probably the dressing room area, and then she can hear Steampunk's thoughts too, being like, everything is going according to plan.
And then as she walks down the hallway, we then see Steampunk and the airplane gnome at the end of the hall, just chatting to each other.
so Airplane Gnome looks different than the last 2 airplane gnomes we've seen. It's clearly the same airplane gnome.
Well, it's clearly still Airplane Gnome because Steampunk turns to it and is like, Airplane Ganma.
Yeah, but the last 2 had like only one thing with the propeller on the side of their arms, and they were
And their hats were different.
Mirrored.
This one's got goggles and like a pointy hat.
and he's got a spinner on his hat. So it's like the 2 of them combined or some weird
He
thing.
got renovated.
He evolved.
Upgrade.
So now we are at New Fumi's takoyaki stand. Starts on a radio listening to the Idol Group. And Cannon is there. And New Fumi is like, here, bring these to him. And so Cannon takes the takoyaki over to Pretty Boy, who's just like, I was to blame for losing that fight.
Pretty Boy, Spectre, and Taco are sitting at a plastic table, all hanging out, moping after running away from a fight that they could have won.
Easily. And then at the next table is the lead singer from the Idol Group. And she's just sitting there kind of talking out loud.
She's got a mask on.
And she's like, Yeah, and then everyone turns and is like, wait, aren't you from that group? And she's like, no, don't talk to me. And then she runs away.
Yeah, basically what happens is PB has his dark thoughts about being a failure and letting everyone down, and she's like, oh yeah, I felt that way too. And he's like, oh man, did you hear the voice of my heart? And she's like, yeah, it just started happening recently. And then Taco touched her and got a Taco memory. I don't know.
Well,
I almost said flashback, but there was no Fumi there.
Flashback.
It was a flashback of the scene we literally just saw of the girls having the bad thoughts.
Of the girls thinking the bad, angry things that they were totally for reals thinking.
And then Taco kind of expressed that and was like, oh, you're upset because they are your friends and you were shocked that you heard them say this, right? Right.
I mean, I guess if she's already going through shock about hearing other people's thoughts, it's not really that shocking for a dude to be like, oh, no, I totally understand and know the thing that happened to you, even though I wasn't there.
And in the sky, there is Airplane Gnome spying on them.
And he's just like, she made contact with a taco.
Back at Snapple HQ,
the girl is there talking to everyone. And she's like, I heard a man's voice about going according to plan. And they're like, that's telepathy.
Oh, that must be Steampunk Man.
Yeah, they must be talking about...
the only person that says things going according to plan.
They must be talking about KMS. Easy peasy. And they're like, what? Okay. And then, I can't remember who said it, but they're like, I understand. You feel lost and like you don't know what to do. And then she gets possessed by Sanzo, who starts talking about faith.
And her new costume is a monk's costume.
And some very blue contacts.
It's kind of papal, though. She's got, like, the hat.
Yeah.
And then, like, a white robe.
She's a Buddhist priest.
Yeah. So, talks to Pretty Boy, and is like, Poncho Boy, my dude, you've lost sight of your faith. And then PB faints at the table.
His head just goes
he just
down.
head desked.
Yeah, he head desk, basically. And then Taco is like, I don't think he lost his way, but he's having trouble getting back on track.
And then I got angry because it's like, if he's not lost, how come he can't get back?
Thank you. And then Sanzo gestures towards Pretty Boy, and then Pretty Boy disappears in a cloud of smoke.
Yeah, because Sanzo's just like, well, let's test that then. Poof.
And then the man voice of Sanzo comes through the girl, even though it was a girl's voice up until that point, and then unpossesses her.
Well, it says save the girl as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on a test. If he fails, he's going to poof forever. Hope he doesn't fail. Goodbye.
If you're right, then PB will come back. Otherwise,
poof forever.
And then Akari's like, hey, Onari, we're going to go to Deep Connect. So now
we got to do something.
Now Pretty Boy is in a jungle, surrounded by 3 animals. Corey, would you seem to have feelings on this, just judging by your face?
Like, you say jungle, but he poofed to the quarry that's down the hill from the temple that we go to all the time.
But it looks like it's meant to be like rainforesty.
It's just meant to be like a clearing area, but still, the actual location is right next door.
But it's meant to be far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, he gets punched by a monkey, and then gets punched by a kappa, and then gets punched by a pig.
Journey to the West.
The end.
I wish it was the end, but no, there's still more of this episode.
Yeah.
So now we're back with Taco and the lead singer of the idol group, and she says, the 4 of us have been together since we were kids. And then they have a flashback about how when they're kids, they're like, we're going to be great together. It's going to be awesome. We're going to make a group.
My favorite thing is that when she talks about the dream that they're going to have, it's to get to a place called Big Dream Stadium.
Which is the Koshien of girl idol groups.
I don't think it exists. I don't think it's
it
real
exists either.
I wish it existed. So we're at Deep Connect, and it's Bills talking to Akari about how if Akari becomes the new idol in the group, it'll allow her to investigate the group from within. I still don't trust Bills.
Well, Onari was presenting that idea to Bills, and then Bills was like, well, I don't know if I can. I don't have anything to do with the audition.
But he totally does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks so It's weird to me in that scene how skeptical because Akari's like, "It's okay, I'll win this audition with my own charms and merits, and I can be an idol girl." And he looks super skeptical, and I'm like, "But you looked at her earlier, and we're like, hey, want to audition to be an idol girl?"
Cut to Gnome Hell basement. There's Sweat Emperor. And then behind him is tank top wearing Makoto.
Yeah, Makoto shows up just kind of out of the blue, which was weird because we haven't seen Gnome Hell Makoto in a long time. I thought his body was gone.
No, Gnome Hell Makoto was the real Makoto. This is a new Gnome Hell Makoto.
Oh, I missed that completely. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. And not good. Also, apparently latex boys aren't perfect. Did you know that?
Shame.
I know, right?
So now we're back at Takayaki stand again with new Fumi and Kanon. And oh my god, they are cute and best friends.
Absolutely.
They're like waving at each other like goodbye, and then they spend probably about 5 minutes just waving at each other.
Yeah, and then Kanon sees in the distance, like 5 feet away, Makoto in a military uniform.
In the distance. Yeah, it's Makoto wearing one of the uniforms that like PB used to wear and that
gnomes wear.
Yeah, that angry bad gnomes wear. And like looks at Kanon and then he like scowls at her and walks away, and we're like, well, that's weird. But now we're back at Deep Connect where the idol audition is happening. Who wants to talk about what Akari and Inari are wearing? Heather, you seem...
Well, okay, there's a tiny table with a bunch of idol girls eating snacks and doing makeup, and they're gossiping about what Akari is wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Akari is wearing the cutest outfit, though.
Yeah, she's wearing like a 1950s kind of polka dot, a pink dress with white polka dots on it.
And she's got like a little perm wig.
Mm-hmm. It's a wig.
Yep.
Now,
I mean, that was a little weird. I think she would have been better to not wear the wig.
Onari, on the other hand,
he's got big afro
and
little sideburns.
Paint on sideburns, not even fake hair, just like Sharpied on sideburns, and an orange blazer with giant lapels.
And a skinny tie and a shirt with a pattern on it that didn't match anything.
Yeah, he looks like a game show host from the 70s.
He looks bad.
He looked great. What are you talking about?
He looked
I told you
bad.
that he looked a lot like the lead singer from Bradio.
He pulls a tiny Kamen Rider figurine out of his afro.
As a good luck charm for Akari.
She loves it.
It's so cute. I mean, I understand that was a marketing thing, but I was...
You squealed when it happened.
Yes, it's super cute.
So we leave them for a second because Taco brings lead singer of Idol Group into the dance rehearsals of the group. So there's the 3 girls there. They don't say anything. She just hears their thoughts again, and they're all negative, and she screams and runs out of the room.
It's like, oh, who's this boy? It's all about Taco and how she probably ditched their dance practice to hang out on a date with a boy.
Date with boys. Gross.
As she's out in the hallway, she hears KMS again.
Yeah, she hears Steampunk Man's thoughts.
Steampunk's all like, oh man, this girl. Oh man, this girl is a threat to our plans. She's got to be eliminated.
And then instead of using a door like a normal human, Taco ghosts through a wall.
He's not a normal human. He's a ghost.
Instead of using the door like any logical creature, I don't know how to even phrase that.
It was kind of weird that he just ghosted through a wall when he probably should have just been chasing her through the hallway.
He was standing right beside the door the whole time. Anyways, so she runs away because she's freaked out. Makoto is back at Snapple drinking tea around the table with the students.
It's so weird.
It looked forced.
He's just sitting there in between airport and train yard, and they're all drinking tea in sync. And he's got like this really cute, like,
are we back to talking about NSYNC?
Dinosaur mug, but at the same time, he's just like, yes, we drink tea together. We always hang out here together at this table.
It looks like each of them think that the other 2 pressured them into drinking tea.
Yeah, it was a very uncomfortable situation.
Like they're all victims of peer pressure.
But then Kanon walks in and was like, wait, you're here and you've changed already. And he's like, I've been here the whole time. And she's like, no, I saw you at the park. And he's like, no, I've been here.
That's the other thing that this looks like. It looks like they're all trying to establish an alibi.
Yup. We were at HQ drinking tea together
You saw us. We were here right now together drinking tea.
the
whole
entire time.
And then one of the students is like, "Oh, you must have a doppelganger. Hey, they say if you meet your doppelganger, you die." Fun tidbit there.
In my head, it was like, that's because you kill each other.
Okay.
But
That's going to happen in this. They're going to see each other. They're going to fight. One of them will die. It won't be the real one.
And they're like, wait, there's another Makoto? There's someone who looks just like you? That's ridiculous. But then we're back with Poncho Boy laying on the ground, close up of his tum, growling.
He's so hungry.
And he literally just says, it's useless. I'm so hungry.
Well, when his stomach was growling, you were like, oh, too much takoyaki. But then we saw takoyaki box on a rock. It was like, oh, not enough takoyaki.
And he's like, that smell, it cannot be takoyaki. And then before he can get to it, the 3 gnome animal creatures run towards it and take it. And then he fights them for it. But holy F is he bad at fighting.
They play keep away.
Now we're back at the Deep Connect auditions. This was bad. It's Akari's turn. She's like, I'm going to use the power of science.
Wink.
Hand flaps.
There
Hand
were
flap
flap
sounds.
noises. There were noises for her hand flaps.
She started singing about jet planes.
I'm not sure I would call it singing.
She was screeching about jet planes. It sounded bad. It was really bad.
Cut to Makoto.
Real Makoto.
He sees an airplane.
No.
In the sky.
Shut up.
Taco is trying to talk to lead singer about her problems, but airplane attacks because he's, been charged to eliminate the problem girl. And so Makoto jumps into the air and transforms and kicks the airplane.
Yep. Right out of the sky.
Right, and then Taco transforms into
Orange Jacket Taco.
level
Yeah.
1 Taco. He has access to 4 different levels of Taco now, and he uses his most basic. Why?
So that they can look like Spectre and Taco punching this
Okay,
airplane.
no, this entire fight has to be just filling time because it's he then becomes Booster later. There's this Nobunaga Spectre. There's some multi-gun action. There's Tutankhamun. There's a Booster with Ryoma for some reason, and then he eventually goes Infinite Taco, and it's just like, no, you're not on a 12-step program to being a Taco. You are already an Infinite Taco.
And then he uses his Enjoyment Strike,
That was so dumb.
which is the name of the attack he uses with the bow and arrow.
And then there's Omega Fang, and then stuff explodes.
Yeah,
and
when
then
did the generics show up?
it just
Well, the airplane
happened.
summoned them. I
Okay.
think it was after they went boosting deep.
Because I didn't even notice
Right
the
before.
generics were there until he Omega fanned them.
It was right before they went
So was it
boosting deep.
after the Omega Spark?
Omega Fang?
No, because Nobunaga used Omega Spark with the multi-gun.
Right before Nobunaga.
But
That's when
he
the
went
generics were summoned.
Tutankhamun to kill the generics and then split up from Taco.
And the Tutankhamun happened after they were summoned.
This whole scene is bullshit.
Whoa, we don't swear here.
Sorry,
That was
this whole scene is BS.
you know what, Heather? It was bullshit.
Thank you, Kate.
You're making so much more work for me.
Bull.
Oh.
You can say it too.
Just up the rating.
Just
You
say
think
it.
I would?
Just say it once.
No.
Say it one
I
time.
don't want to.
One time. Say any
Mm.
swear you want.
Butts.
No.
No.
Give me an X-rated swear. Let's make this episode rated R for restricted to people who want to listen to swears.
I don't do.
Yes, you do.
I've
No.
heard you.
I've heard you as well.
When?
Like earlier today.
When?
We can't discuss that. We have friend DA going on.
You said a swear. You just
I
didn't
heard
say it
it.
on a recording.
Yeah.
I said a swear today.
Yes.
And yesterday. Even though I wasn't around, I'm pretty sure you
Whoa.
did one yesterday,
I was
too.
unconscious all day yesterday. I did not swear yesterday.
I think you sleep swear.
Corey, I need you to swear right now.
I don't want to.
Listen to all the beeping you're going to have to do.
I don't beep it. I just
cuts the whole thing out.
I cut the line.
Oh, I don't listen to our podcast.
I know you don't.
Cool. So anyways, all of that garbage happens, and then the idol is just sitting there freaking out about, I can hear voices, oh no. Now Taco goes rainbow.
No, we already did this. We already killed the thing using the enjoyment strike.
Yeah, we did. I have idol freaking out twice, and I got confused.
Oh,
That's fair. She
Idol
freaks out a
continues
lot.
to freak out. Makoto sees Makoto.
I wrote military
Yeah.
Makoto for
Eminem
yeah, I know it's
Eminem
not helpful.
2?
Part
Two.
2, I guess.
Junior?
Strikes back.
Beardless.
Electric Boogaloo.
Face hairless.
Hairless military man.
I literally just... My notes. My friends hate me. And I was like, was that me thinking? Or was that the show? I'm not sure.
The show was probably thinking its friends hate it.
Okay.
It was the idol. She was saying, my friends hate me. I can't take it anymore.
I just want to be clear, Kate. We did not show you this show because we hate you.
I'm questioning that every
I
time we record
realize
this.
that might be a question that comes through your brain a lot, especially with this episode.
Every day.
But it's not.
Okay, well, that's good. Poncho Boy is back with the animals who ate all the takoyaki, and he just I can't keep going. I can't do it.
I give up.
I give up.
And we cut back to the audition.
And there's 5 girls auditioning, I think.
Well,
And-
at least in the room.
Yeah. And then they're like, okay, who's going to be the winner? And then Bills whispers to one of the other judges, and they were like, the winner is Akari, even though the audition was god-awful.
And Bill's said that he had nothing to do with the auditions and making the decision, even though he was on the table of the board and clearly whispered something because there's no way.
And Onari and Akari do a thumbs up pose, and then a woman that was on the board goes, impossible! And it was over.
And everyone was sad.
Yeah, you know
except
what?
her.
This episode was impossible and awful and really kind of boring.
Yep. Like the idol group stuff.
That was
was
fine.
fine.
Weird blue tornado thing at the beginning.
Weird Blue Tornado sucked.
This episode was so bad that we had to have like a 10-minute conversation about boy bands, which I'm actually kind of okay with, and would do a whole other podcast just about music from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Noted.
Gotcha.
Pawn.
Thanks for listening to our podcast.
If you would like to support our podcast, please visit GHOSTWATCH2016.xyz and jam on the donate button. And also any of the other service buttons or social media things that you wish. They're on the website.
I'm sorry this microphone is going to be so sweaty when I hand it back to you.
You. Goodbye.
Bye.